Hello, and thanks for logging on to this week's Elon Local News Web Exclusive. I'm Caroline Hartshorn.
And I'm Mackenzie Dunn. Here are the stories we have for you this Thursday, November 13th. 7 out of 10 college students in the class of 2013 have some form of student debt, according to the Institute for College Access and Success. The average graduate had about $29,000 worth of debt, and in 6 states, the average debt came in above $30,000. New Mexico was the only state where the average debt was below $20,000, and students here in North Carolina had an average debt of $24,319.
Smith Jackson recently sent out an email warning students of a potential cell phone scam. The scam calls claim to be the IRS or a local police department or sheriff's office. The caller tells the student they owe money, and if the student hangs up, the scammer immediately calls back and spoofs 911. If this happens to you, hang up and do not return the phone calls. And please report the phone call to Elon Police at 336-278-5555.
Students now have some new sub gear to take home. They lined Mosley for this month's Sub Swag. Just state it. Sub was giving away personalized state decals. Students could customize their state of choice by choosing the color and size and complete the decal with a word or hometown heart. Sub says they chose this to be the product of the month because all Elon students could enjoy the product. Make sure to look out for next month's Sub Swag coming soon.
On Veterans Day, Elon even held a special ceremony to say thanks to those who have served. The community gathered in LaRose Digital Theater to salute local veterans. The ceremony was open to everyone and featured veterans, students with family currently in the service, and Elon's current ROTC students. Sophomore Jessica Jones is enrolled in the ROTC program now and looks forward to serving her country the way these veterans have.
It also just means it's a time definitely to just step back and realize that in our busy lives there are people who are doing so much more than I could ever imagine.
Elon's been honoring veterans all week long to celebrate Veterans Day. Elon's business management class showed the documentary Honor Flight on Wednesday night. Honor Flight is the story of a group of World War II veterans who traveled to Washington, D.C. to experience the opening of the Veterans War Memorial. Director Dan Hayes was at the event for question and answer session after the viewing and spoke with audience members on why he decided to tell this story. He also took this opportunity to thank those who have served.
Absolutely. To anybody who's served, I'm so incredibly grateful. And this movie is a way of just showing my gratitude, but also really the gratitude that I think this generation has. We don't always show it in the best way, but we are so grateful to live in a free country and be able to make choices for ourselves. So thanks to all the veterans out there.
The 2014 election may be over, but what are the long-term impacts of last week's elections? Our Ashley Boley talked with Assistant Political Science Professor Jason Husser to find out more.
Power. If college students would vote more, they could more aggressively assert that you should pay attention to us, government.
Husser says even though the 2014 election doesn't have an immediate impact on students, they should be cautious about the impact on their future. Here are some key issues to watch.
Pay attention to what's going on with the national debt and Medicare and Social Security.
So let's break it down. First up, the national debt. According to the U.S. Department of Treasury, the debt ceiling is increasing every year, and college students are going to have to do their part to pay for it. Students need to watch their spending habits and pay off those college loans.
Most people agree that the cost of college can't keep rising the way it's rising, and that it's really problematic that student loans have increased over time.
Up next, Medicare. Funds are being pulled away from Medicare to pay off the national debt. Although this isn't a direct relationship impacting students, more debt leads to less employment.
It's harder and harder and harder for college students to get the types of jobs that they used to get in, say, the 1980s. So college is more expensive and the types of entry-level management positions become harder to reach.
And then comes Social Security. Costs are rising. With Social Security benefits most likely to deplete in the future, one possible solution is raising taxes on all workers.
You'll probably see more tinkering with the tax code. Not clear how that's going to affect young folks and college students one way or another.
For some of the big issues from the midterm election, we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
18 to 22-year-olds, college students today, are getting less in the future, and they're going to pay a lot more for it.
Ashley Boley, Elon Local News.
Husser also told Ashley that polarization between Congress and the president is the biggest issue of our era, which will continue to affect us until parties start making compromises.
The Colonial Athletic Association announced the all-conference team for men's soccer yesterday. 6 Elon players were included on this list. On the first team, junior midfielder Miguel Salazar. Second team honors went to midfielder James Brace, goalkeeper Nathan Dean, and defender Nathan Deal. Senior forward Jason Waterman received third team honors, and first-year Jonathan Colby was named to the all-rookie squad. That's all the news we have for you today, but we'll be right back here live on Monday at 6.
In the meantime, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Have a great weekend, Elon.